Hi everyone, my name is Mareike. My business is called ByMaraca and I make jewellery mostly out of brass and also silver. Today I want to take you on a day in my life. Kernowcraft have kindly recognized and asked me to talk about a day at a market because I love doing markets, mainly because I really enjoy getting the instant feedback from customers and just seeing them enjoy my jewellery, and it's really nice. I mean, having an online shop is great, and it's a great way to get your stuff out there. But if someone has the whole internet to look for jewellery, it can be quite tricky that they find you, and at least for me, I only get kind of the odd sale. Whereas at a market, I get the instant feedback, I get to talk to the people, I get to explain how I make my jewellery, and it's just a lot more personal, approachable, and yeah, it's just this direct contact that I really, really enjoy, despite the days often being very long and quite tiring. But it's like any job. If you're at it for 7 hours or something, then you will be tired at the end. But the satisfaction you get out of a good market and a well-organized market is so satisfying. I really love it. I want to add as well, I didn't used to be quite an outgoing person, and I know quite a few people who are a bit shy about selling at markets and who feel like they're not confident to represent a table full of their makings because you get the instant feedback. But to those people, I just want to say, I hardly ever get bad feedback. I don't think I've ever gotten bad feedback. No one ever commented on my prices, other than maybe pricier pieces compared to my quite cheap pieces. People being a bit like, oh, okay, yeah, this must have taken longer. But usually prices are accepted, no matter how high you price or how low you price something, there is an audience for it. This shouldn't discourage you from trying to sell at a market. And even if you're a shy person and maybe don't want to talk to people too much, if you go to independent markets yourself and just go around the stores, you're there for the products first and foremost. And then if you have questions, you will talk to the trader. And at some tables, you would just go by, say hello, say nice stuff, and then go again. So I just want to encourage really everyone to, if they have been thinking about it, to try and apply to some local markets. Most cities have local markets, most villages have a village market. Arts fairs, arts trails are really great. And I really enjoy that it's a great way to meet other makers and really become part of this community and, chat to people and maybe get then connected afterwards on social media and follow each other and just be part of this really, really great group and just, help each other as well. And it's nice at markets that it's very mixed crafts and arts and not just jewellery. And maybe they can suggest other markets to you as well than to trade at. So, it's a really good team spirit at these events. My brand, ByMaraca, started just before the last lockdown, after I've done a 10 weeks course with Make It with Kim. Shout out to Kim, she's the best teacher. Watch all her videos, please, because you will learn so much. So yeah, I was lucky enough to actually have in-person sessions with her, and it was a great experience. And then lockdown was announced, and that week I just decided to go for it and bought all the tools and just went for it. And very shortly after, actually, I opened my Etsy shop because I had a printing business before and I was kind of familiar with markets and with selling online, although it was never very successful. But having had this experience really helped in just going for it, just not doubting myself, just trying it. There's nothing to lose, so why not just do it? I like to describe my jewellery as bold yet sophisticated. So I'm using mostly very strong lines and very clear pieces, but also the dainty ones. So I've got something like this, which is from my Geo range. All my jewellery, most of my jewellery is made from brass. So you can see this here, but I have sterling silver finding at the back. My Buttercup series was my first one actually that I started. So I think I did one of these pieces in Kim's course. So that was great. And I've recently added using pearls as well. And as you can see, I'm wearing them right now as well. So yeah, this is kind of what I make and this is what I sell, and that's what people like to buy at markets, apparently. I feel very lucky that this is working out so well, and yeah, ByMaraca is not a full-time gig for me though. It is restricted to evenings, weekends and Fridays, as I still work 4 days for a publisher, which I really enjoy, but it's not very creative. It's more project management kind of stuff. So it's very nice to hammer it out, solder it out and make pretty jewellery that I like to wear myself. Yes, so what I want to do is just to take you through this day and tell you what is happening. And actually it starts a few days before the event. A few days before any market, I will make sure that I've got the stock ready that I want to take. If something is missing, then I will make it and get it ready for the market in time. Another thing I do is also checking whether anything needs to go in the tumbler again, because some pieces obviously will tarnish. I make most of my jewellery from brass actually, so when it starts becoming a bit darker and a bit dull, that's the time to take it off my cards, put it in the tumbler and then put it back on. I usually put my jewellery in the tumbler for about 2 to 3 hours, so I want to make sure I do that a couple of days before the actual market, and the next day I have all the time to check my stock spreadsheet and put everything back on cards and into its containers, and then I can be sure that I've got everything I need. To make checking my stock easier, I got myself one of these things, which is a great way to separate the different lines, or if you separate your jewellery by earrings, rings, whatever, you can just make sure you've got everything separate. So I've got quite a lot of different lines, so each drawer is a different line: Geo, Zero, Buttercup, Tinta and so on, and everything goes in a drawer and I know exactly where it is. In addition to that, I also have a stock spreadsheet that I try and keep up to date. Whenever I make something new, it goes in there. Whenever I sell something or something breaks, it will get taken out, so that at one glance I always know what I have, what I need to remake. If I know something sells well, you know, that I'm not suddenly out of stock. And then for the packaging, I pack my jewellery on little cards. So these are basically my business cards as well. On the back it has my logo and website, and I punch holes in it, either with a hole punch, or if I want to drill loads at the same time, I take my Dremel with a small drill bit, at least 0.8 millimeters, because that's what the findings are. And then I can fiddle them through and put them on with the stoppers on the back, and they look really pretty on the store. So once I've taken all my stock and I know what I have and everything is shiny and everything is on the cards and ready to be sold, then I start packing. Grumpet usually tries to get out of the way when I'm counting stock and doing other admin things that are necessary. I know I keep drumming on about the stock, but it's really, really helpful to know what you have, even if it's a pain and even if it includes Excel sheets. But knowing what you have sold, really makes life a lot easier. Doesn't it, Grumpet? This is my inventory spreadsheet that I go through before every market. I do a stock count with the actual items I have. Not before every market, but I try to do it every other month, every 3 months, just to make sure everything is in it. I'm personally rubbish with Excel, and I'm very lucky that I have a partner who is well into his Excel and can just write formula. So I here have all my inventory. I've got over 100 items now, which is quite a lot. I don't think yeah, everybody needs that many. I can write down my sales with the amount I make. I can write down what I'm producing. I even have a to-do list, what needs making, and even a sale or return sheet for my stockists. So yeah, anything that's on zero here, I should get on and make some more of very soon. Another point to think about is how you receive money at your market. So obviously cash where possible is one option. Remember to go to the post office or wherever to get change, because that's quite frustrating if you don't have the right change and then first need to run around and ask the other makers for some change for your money. A different option obviously is card readers, and especially now in COVID times, a few markets only allow card payments, so they don't want cash there at all, which, you know, is fair enough and a bit safer for everybody. So there are different ones. I used to have the Square reader, which worked perfectly fine for a long time, and then all of a sudden my phone didn't connect to it anymore, and the reader said my phone isn't supporting the software. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but I never got it to work again. After that, I changed to SumUp readers. It's a Germany-based, company that does card readers, and I've been very happy with this for quite a while now. So I can really recommend that. Square probably equally fine if your phone connects to it already. So that's good. So yeah, so this card reader allows to put in the card at the top, swipe it at the back, or do contactless. You connect it via Bluetooth. You don't need an internet connection, I don't think. So if the place doesn't have Wi-Fi, the venue, then don't worry, you can still get card payment. All the card readers take a certain percentage of your sales. I think it's just under 3%, if I'm not mistaken, for SumUp. So in the app you can see all your sales. You can see them broken down into your customers, different customers. You can also preset some items. I've got a bit too much jewellery with all different prices to do that, so I just type in each amount each time. And then a day or two later you get an email with the whole list and the sum, and it will be transferred to your bank account. So it's really straightforward. It's quite simple to set up, and it works a treat if you want to take card payment, or if a customer either doesn't have cash with them or just, yeah, want to pay by card. So that's definitely a thing to keep in mind. I really like if I can use my market stall setup also in my normal life, basically. It saves space. I use my spare room in my house, so there's only so much I can store. And if something can have a double function, that's perfect. So for example, this lovely IKEA drawer thing I use to store my display things, but it also works as my display. I can pull out the drawer, turn it over, put it back, and then lean jewellery against it. My greatest item, probably, this bar stool. It folds up really small, fits in the car, and it works really well at my bench as well as at markets, and it saves your back. Other than that, I have everything else I need in this box. The box itself also goes on my stall, on my display, and you can see there is a tablecloth that I use, jewellery stands, my paper bags to wrap jewellery in, and a little tree to hang off jewellery. It all fits in this one box, in this box, and that's basically it. So once this is all in the car, I'm good to go, and it's time for the market. Currently driving to my market, which luckily is in the same city that I live in. I do markets further away as well. You have to get up at 6 AM to get there in time. Yeah, feels like a job more than, doesn't it? But in the same city, super easy. It's 8:20 now. We need to be there before 9. That's the cutoff, because we then have an hour to set up, and at 10 AM the doors open to the public. So yeah, I've just spent the last couple of days really to get everything ready. Yesterday I chucked a whole load in the tumbler to get it shiny, to get my jewellery shiny, because it's quite important at a store that everything, you know, looks nice and fresh, and I work a lot with brass, so obviously if that tarnishes it looks a bit more dull, so it's nice to have it all shiny. But I've also got my Renaissance wax on most of my items, which is also going to help with that. So yeah, packed up the car this morning. It's quite full. This one is one where I have to bring my own table, otherwise there is a table fee, additional table fee to the stall fee. And I just bought a £20 plastic folding table from B&Q a few years ago, and that's definitely been worth it. Yeah, and gonna be there in about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna set up and show more. Oh yeah, and what I also wanted to mention is that my first few markets I did without my own car, actually. So the first time I asked a friend, and the second time I took a taxi. It is possible, especially with jewellery which is quite small, you know, you can just put it in one box really, and if there are tables available at the fair, it's absolutely doable. However, I find that with time my displays always evolve, and I bring more and more stuff and more display features, and now I'm also bringing a bar chair, so I'm quite high up, so I look like I'm standing, but actually I can rest a little bit, because these markets can feel very long, and without sitting down I think I'd just struggle, my back just will kill me. So yeah, the car was partly bought because of markets, because I now can do these things without having to rely on anyone else, without having to pay extra money other than petrol. It is manageable. It takes a bit more commitment maybe, I also know some people that in the maker community just know each other and just get together, and one has a car and they drive together. So it's all possible. But I really enjoy having my own car and being able to have that for these situations. Just unloaded and parked my car up, which fortunately at the paintworks is free. It's a bit frustrating if you have to pay £20 parking fee if you're at a different market. But yeah, so now I'm gonna set up my table, sort through everything. I've got an hour and a half, which is plenty. Usually I can do it in like 45 minutes. It's always good to have the extra time. Come prepared with COVID-safe solutions like wipes and obviously hand sanitizer yourself, because if you're seen sanitizing your hands, that's obviously very important. Come prepared with food and drink. I just finished my coffee and it's only 12:30, so might struggle a bit. Yeah, drink water, but also be aware where the toilets are and make your fellow stall holders aware that you might be gone for a minute. And then also, which I didn't used to, but which I've started, is taking really stock of what I'm selling, so I know what to remake when I'm back at my bench at home. Okay, there's half an hour left now. And it's always the last half hour where the sellers are tired, kind of want to pack up because there are not many customers in, but obviously, you know, you should be available for the customers. If the market is till 5, you should be there till 5. That's just, you know, what you should do. So I really try and not pack up until 5 o'clock then. Some markets are also very much not happy for you to pack up earlier, even, you know, if there's not much going on. It just represents the whole market in a certain light, I guess. So yeah, so it's 25 minutes left now. Getting itchy feet, getting really tired. But yeah, it's been a great day. It's all done. It's the day after the market. It's been great despite me moaning how tired I was. I guess it's like any other job. If you're, you know, on your feet for 7 hours and got up early and have to talk the whole time, even if you love it, you will be tired by the end. So yeah, the last hour can be a bit of a struggle, but the feeling of coming back home, unpacking the car, putting your feet up, having a cup of tea, glass of wine, it's amazing. And I can really, really encourage you, if you have been thinking about markets, just go for it, just try it. The community is great. You will get so much support. Organizers, in all the cases I've done so far, have been really, really helpful, really amazing, give you advice, are really patient. So if you're new to it and just a bit unsure, just contact your local markets and just apply for them and just see what happens. It can only be good, in my opinion. Yeah, and I hope you've found this inspiring. If you now feel like doing a market, or if you got any other ideas like reusing your stall equipment for daily purpose, or any other advice you have for other jewelers who want to make a market happen, then please contact me. My name is Mareike. I'm from ByMaraca, so you find me on Instagram at ByMaraca and on Facebook ByMaraca_shop. And yeah, my website is www.bymaracajewellery.com, and there is a contact form as well. So if you have any further questions about markets, about how to prep for them, or anything else, please get in touch. I would love to chat about that. Yeah. And I hope you found this day in the life of a jeweler insightful. And make sure you check out the Kernowcraft YouTube channel, where there are plenty more videos to watch and quite a few more of the day in the life of. It's great. It's so nice to see how everybody works and what's happening and what they're up to. And I can highly recommend watching them and giving Kernowcraft lots of love for it. Thank you for watching. Thanks so much, and good luck at the markets. Bye bye.